The human ship was incredibly rickety. The seats felt like they were falling apart below me, and the hull shook violently as we blasted through hyperspace. I was a hard man to impress, and when I saw an ad on a billboard for a tour exhibition made by the Terrans, I thought if anyone could give me that rush I'd been looking for my whole life, it would be the humans. Oh, how wrong I was. I can't believe I gave these idiots 1 million credits, more than what most people make in a year, for some stupid mystery tour. I fell right into their scam, and I should have seen it coming from miles away. The way they didn't even tell us where we were going, just told us it would blow our minds, and all the liability forms they had us sign that seemed to somehow mention death in every sentence. It was all a bunch of bullshit. Suddenly, I lurched forward in my seat from the deceleration as the ship neared our destination, a massive black hole in the middle of nowhere. Seriously? A damn black hole? For 1 million credits, I could have brought my own ship and jumped to a black hole on my own. What was the point of this? The passengers around me seemed to share a similar look of disappointment, many of them not even bothering to look at the boring sight outside. The human tour guide, on the other hand, had a massive grin on his face. Outside you can see Phyllis 059, the largest black hole for roughly 20 million light years. But, of course, that's not why we're here. A few decades ago, we found out that this bad boy isn't just any black hole. It's special. I rolled my eyes, but the human continued. Don't worry, I won't spoil too much. You'll see what I mean as soon as we get the warp drives warmed up. Warp drives? What the hell were they planning? Something called a warp drive did not sound like something that should be in the shitty old transport ship we were in. You guys might want to strap in. This part tends to get a little rough. Everything was silent for a few seconds, before a loud buzzing sounded in the background. Slowly, it got louder and louder, until I felt like my eardrums were going to burst. Right when I felt like I couldn't take it anymore, an even louder banging noise sounded off, and we started accelerating impossibly fast. I tried to reach forward and tighten my seatbelt, but my arms were forced back, pinned to my sides. I made an attempt to scream, but my jaw seemed to be nailed shut. Then there was quiet. I looked around. Everything felt fuzzy, like I wasn't really there, but watching my life through a tunnel. We're here, said our tour guide, still grinning. I looked out the window, and for a moment I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's impossible to put into words, but it looked like an endless amount of shapes, patterns and colours, unlike anything I had even comprehended before. I felt like by looking out that window, I was looking at the fabric of the universe, at time and matter itself. I felt frozen in place. Maybe it was a feeling of amazement, maybe even fear, but nonetheless my jaw dropped to the floor. After what felt like just a few minutes, but was likely much longer, the human spoke up once again. We can't stay here too long due to the gravitational instability, so we should probably head back now. Remember to strap in. We have to warp again. For the rest of my journey home, I felt nothing. I couldn't get out of my head what I had just seen, and for a while, I wondered if I would ever be able to look at the world the same way again. Either they put us on some serious drugs, or we had just visited the fourth dimension.